Board of Selectmen's meeting, November 29, 21.
Call the meeting to order, please rise and pledge allegiance to the flag led by Colonel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Minutes of November 16th.
So moved.
Second,
Second?
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Manifest, $197,085.25 dated November 18th, and $6,500.03 dated November 23rd, 21. Entertain a motion?
Motion approved?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Facility requests, police department requests, town hall, January 17th and 19th for training. It's kind of an annual.
I move to accept, we allow them to have their training here.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll move to the agenda. Public hearing. Acceptance of the following reimbursements: $18,115 from American Rescue Plan Act funds, $118,400 fire department vaccine services, $50,000 Eversource road damage settlement, and $1,890 police department copier reimbursement. I'll open the public hearing. We'll ask anybody who wishes to speak in favor at first, and then we'll ask for those opposed. Anybody wish to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? No further, I'll ask it again last time, anyone wants to speak in favor or opposed? I'll close the public hearing. Vote on
Make a motion that we go ahead and accept the following reimbursements.
please.
I'll second it.
Further discussion by the selectmen? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2022 budget cuts, delays and decisions.
Board members, if it's possible, could we delay this discussion just until Cheryl is able to join
Yep.
us in about 10, 15
Sure.
minutes?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do the sale of town land on River Road.
You have in your packets one of the last tabs, the letter from Mr. Phillips regarding sale of the town parcel. And the next step in this process is for the board to hold one of two public hearings on the topic.
Want to set a date?
Yeah.
Do you wish to proceed with the hearing on this one?
Yes.
Want to set a date, Martha, that, we've crazy couple of weeks coming up, but,
For the parties, all the parties.
one of our regular meetings without the budget.
Right.
We have Wednesday nights budgets.
So Monday, December 20, you have a meeting?
With Mr. Phillips, you gonna be able to make it?
That all right with you, Mark?
I think I'll be out of town.
Oh, that's a
No.
shame.
Well, I could.
Be at the North Pole getting the sleigh ready?
Yeah, greasing it up, are ya?
Oh, we wanna move on as soon as we can, but we wanna,
Can you do it earlier than that, or is that out of question?
powers to be here.
Let's see, you also have a meeting on the 15th.
Okay.
I don't have the calendar right in front of me.
Got it right here.
Six.
Monday the 6th.
Oh, we have a meeting on December 6th, but that's too soon, I need to post it.
Right.
But, you could also have a meeting any,
You say the 15th?
When's the earliest they could have?
That's a Wednesday?
ideally, it would be after the 12th.
After the vote?
Yeah,
I can do the 15th.
When's it?
Well, how about you, Ted?
Yeah, I don't know.
What
You
you-
got something scheduled for that night?
Yes,
Okay, let's shoot for the 15th then.
sounds like a plan, Jim. Thank you very much.
Sounds like a plan to me.
What time do you want to set that?
5 o'clock would feel, Mark?
5 o'clock?
That's fine.
You okay with you?
Put it in now.
Perfect, fine with me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, do
Fox Point
facility use discussion.
facility use fee discussion.
We, of course, just recently discussed all the new parameters for use of Fox Point, and the question is, would the board like to set a fee for usage? Mike had brought this up in an email to me, or do you want to keep it free to the public?
Well,
Is it free to residents?
It's residents.
What about,
Just-
I mean, to the public?
No, it's the residents.
I'm sorry,
Would you-
just the residents.
Resident, yeah, it's not open.
That was my
Right.
reason, my reasoning for that was that if we have a resident who wants to have a function up there with, like a wedding or something like that, we should get some benefit of them using the facility. I don't think the facility should be totally free, but some of that revenue can be used to keep the process of moving along to get the point, more helpful for people to walk up there, and the animals to walk around and things like that. That's why I thought maybe we should think of a fee on that. If you wanna delay it into a work session, that's fine with me. Talk to the, building inspector and see what other towns charge, things like that. We can do that as well.
We can see what, we have fees established with
Mhm.
this town hall and the old town hall.
Right.
Right,
Right.
So we review them and see, you know, it is one of the greatest natural gifts on the coasts.
Yeah, and our congressman really liked that spot the other day when he had his little function up there, didn't you, Mr. Connors?
Yeah,
We told him,
And if
look,
we had a fee in place, we could have charged him.
that's right.
hey, listen, there wouldn't be no complaints from me, but you know, I'm just saying.
okay, I will report back with what
Great.
other towns do.
Good, thank you.
We also had an inquiry about an old Pepsi machine that we have at the carriage house.
Mm-hmm.
You have a picture of it in your left-hand pocket of your binder.
What is the, if I may ask a question, what is it in the process in the past with things like this? Don't we put them out on bid?
Yeah, a sample of what we've done as recently as last spring is the third page in the packet.
The third page, okay.
Just a simple notice to the public asking them if they're interested and to bid on it.
Well, I think that'd be fair for everybody involved if we did it that way, to be quite honest with you. I'm not trying to knock a gentleman from trying to buy something that, I think it's like we do with the vehicles that come into town, we offer it to the public and whoever bids the highest bidder gets it. And I feel that's the way it should be done. That's just my opinion,
I
Chris.
have no problem with that.
Well,
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
okay, so why
That's
don't
the way
we
we've always
proceed
done it.
that way? That'll save us some trouble down the line if something else comes up.
Will do.
Okay?
We agree upon that?
Yes. Going to school?
Call for 5 minute recess? Do we get Cheryl?
Yeah.
Yeah, or do you want to talk
Oh,
about
go ahead,
stone
no,
school?
please.
Yeah, for the stone
Do you
school.
want
Oh, yeah.
to,
Oh, thank you.
in a nutshell, the building inspector has given the board a memo about the condition of the stone school. He's very concerned. He and the assistant fire chief walked it recently, and he would like to declare it uninhabitable, unsafe. And he's given you some photos of the school.
Mhm.
And he cites the section in the International Building Code that discusses what that entails.
Well, My concern right away is safety for the public. I think we should post it, no trespassing for now. And then I think what we should do is, put a game plan to see what we can do with, whether it's gonna be habitable and uninhabitable. I don't know, I just feel that the building is kinda sitting there. And what is our liability from taking it from the Air Force, what's their liability to us on that? So my concern would be, Mr. Chairman, is I'd post it no trespassing at this point for now, and then, maybe we can look into, what our
There's
obligations
a lot
are.
of rules and regulations
Right,
and that was
and I'm
taken
concerned
over.
about that. Even though they didn't hold up their end, it doesn't mean we shouldn't hold ours up, you know? That's my recommendation.
Fine. No problem with that.
I'd like to move forward with posting it uninhabitable, unsafe. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
building inspector, he's very well qualified.
No, I don't think there's a problem with that, it's just
No.
what we do down the road with,
Right.
read the agreement, but immediately public safety.
Yeah, definitely post it, no trespassing. I think it's already no trespassing.
It is? Okay, that's what I'm saying, I don't know.
It's locked right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything in these
Right,
days. If
you
it's
can post
posted, then so if somebody falls over there, we cover a little bit on our liability insurance. That's
I know
it.
the historic district wanted to get in there this week to put lights up, and I wanted to tell them to hold off.
I don't want anybody in there.
You got a question in the audience, Mr. Chairman?
Excuse me.
I'm not sure if in those pictures that Steven sent you of the underside of the front steps,
Yes,
are those pictures in there, or that it's literally just being held up by a couple of 6x6s that aren't pressure treated into the dirt?
right.
That's literally all that's holding up the front.
Which means if somebody steps on
I
it, they
wouldn't
get
even,
hurt.
I wouldn't even put anybody in the front
Right,
steps.
that's my concern.
Yeah, we
I saw
may
the
wanna
pictures,
even
thank
look
you.
at, getting some fencing and fencing the thing off so nobody can get in there and secure it.
Should we, we gotta be careful with the fencing as well, I was thinking maybe something like a snow fence around it, far enough away from people to notice no trespass, and that would kinda give the idea that they don't want anybody over there. That would cover us legally on our responsibility with the insurance company, that's what I'm worried about. Somebody gets in and gets hurt, they're gonna come looking for us.
But I think if we read that Air Force memorandum,
Yeah.
anything we do up there, we have to get the, state
Historical site.
Right.
approval
But, now that is for the actual building itself, correct?
and the grounds.
And the grounds, okay, so we did, yeah, there's another thing, like I said, our hands are tied a lot of this on stuff.
We gotta review the agreement and see what we come up
I
with.
agree, but in the meantime, let's take the
In the meantime,
recommendation.
we make it safe, as the chief alluded to, that it's.
Right, I think we should post it, seriously, and then look into the agreement itself. I agree with that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Look who's showing up.
Thanks, Cheryl, how are you?
Sorry, but I'm running late today.
Oh, that's all right, no, hey.
We have plenty of business, don't worry about that.
I hope I didn't miss the good stuff.
No,
Cheryl provided you with her,
Yep.
report.
nobody threw any tomatoes yet, so.
Great, so I'll just walk through this
Yeah,
real
please
quickly
do.
if you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick talk about the format of the structure. I've got, if you look in the blue rows, I've got it broken out by departments under the target goal, budget actual, we have balance remaining, so
Mhm.
that's year-to-date expenditures against the full year's budget.
Mm-hmm.
The percent target and the target. So I would expect 11 out of 12 months we would expect to have 8% left in our budget to spend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm looking for when I look at the variances
Okay.
in the report.
Targeted goal, okay.
Yes. So, the top 7 rows are those departments where the percentage is less than the 8% we're hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning they're running over budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, from an overall summary perspective, town of Newington expenditures year to date are $5.37 million versus the current year, full year budget of $7.23. Our townwide expenditures through November, if you look townwide, all departments, are 26% of the annual budget. So overall, we're running a little bit better
Okay,
than
good.
expected. 7 departments, however, are under the 8%. increment that we're expecting. And I've got a few summary lines for that. The first note I wanted to talk about was the executive office. Even though it's 9%, it's 9% balance, so it's not below target yet. It's running pretty close, and I wanted to highlight some key expenditures.
Okay.
Salaries are over plan by 2% through November. And this is a little bit better than it was when we looked at this in September. So it's catching up. So I feel like, I feel like they will be close at the end of the year. December has stipends and has 3 paychecks.
Okay.
So it'll be pretty borderline how close we come to budget.
Okay.
The overage is primarily due to what we talked about in September. We had some unplanned salary for research, for grants, and cybersecurity.
Right.
And then there was double salary for the finance director in May due to training.
Right.
So that's what kept it up.
That's explainable. Okay.
Other than that, our postage is a little bit over plan, and these expenditures are offset by savings that I see in our supplies line and our engineering services.
Okay.
So this is accounting for us not being over budget yet. Another note is the library. It's fallen in by 7 departments under, and its expenditures as of November are $273,000. There is an encumbrance for paving in the library, where they did expend $80,000.
Right.
That wasn't in the budget, and that is primarily what's
That's
causing.
what hit, okay.
Okay, they are showing savings in their wages.
Right.
So, town hall is slightly over expended, and it looks like this is due to the LED light conversion. that
Right,
took place.
that's gonna save us money in the long run, like the
Yes.
streets light do at this point.
Yep.
Absolutely,
Yep.
okay.
And then our elections, surprisingly, is under the target we would expect, but it's fairly small money compared to the rest of the budgets.
We have, what, 3 elections, is that what was the reason, I forget.
No, we only had one
Just
election this
one,
year,
yeah.
but we had a lot of people working. Remember, we had to have in the 2 separate
Yes,
areas
yes, we did,
and all that
because of
extra
COVID,
stuff, so that was
because of
just,
COVID,
yeah,
okay.
a lot more than we,
That's right,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, that's right, we had to reformat, we had people
Yeah.
in
Right.
town hall, fire station.
right,
Yeah.
and to the Zoom thing, we have to have people do that, that whole thing was a lot.
Well, we should just take some money out of the fire department and pay for it.
Otherwise, the rest of the departments I have them listed in alphabetical order,
Okay,
not by budget or by our balance. I've highlighted in red the 7 departments that are falling under where I think they should be under the 8%. That's the gist of my summary. Are there any questions or concerns?
That's a great tool. Thank you very much.
excellent,
Good.
excellent.
Very precise.
And the answers for what the overage was right online, and although I thought the election would be a little closer, but that's okay, I think it'll balance out on it. That's a good report, Mr. Chairman.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Is there any questions, Bob? Do you have any questions, Bob, or Mike? or-
No, I just want to compliment that she's done an excellent job so far being in the position she's in. She seems to get us the information we need to make us look good, and that's what's important.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Okay.
We have to accept this, or we just
Just
a
for
report?
your information.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you very much.
Any questions for us?
No, thank you for
Mickey,
your
do
Do you want us to take a pay cut, is that what you're asking?
No, I would like more money.
No, us, not
Oh,
you.
you.
How do you want to address it here?
I'll give you the outline of what we've been doing. The board gave us the goal of working on areas in the budget that we could cut in order to keep the tax rate level. Now, a few qualifiers, of course. The town can't control what the county and the school, this side of the town,
Right,
the school and what assessed values will be for the various industries.
right.
So with that in mind, the board a sheet of potential areas that you could think about cutting.
Is that in my folder?
It is, it's under tab called 2022 budget cuts.
Got it, thank you.
Okay.
And you'll see as you go through the middle column, you've got it. Oh, thank you. Under description, it has cut and it has delay. Because of course, there's some things that we really can't cut indefinitely.
If I may interject a second, we did send a memo to all the boards and committees that we were looking to do something because we have no choice to keep it under a certain rate.
Right.
And we got responses from everybody or nobody, or?
Not everyone yet. The police commission asked that they be allowed to submit something tomorrow.
Yeah,
So the board will meet again tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
okay.
The fire department stated they didn't believe there would be any changes,
Okay.
but I don't have a final word.
Reason why I brought that up is I wanna make sure that everybody's aware that we've asked for help on this, and if it doesn't happen, the week drops back onto my shoulders to make the cuts, I wanna know why, people know why I made the cuts the way we made them, okay? Thank you.
So if you'd like, we can go down.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
And under executive office, cut an additional $3,000 from engineering services.
Mm-hmm.
Under executive office, still, office supplies, cut the scanning of town documents by $4,000.
Okay,
Regional associations, one area that was cut last year, cut 10% off of all associations.
I'd like to recommend we do that again this year.
Gives you around $4,400.
Right,
Police and fire, as I mentioned, we don't have those details yet. Pest control, cut to the amount that we used in 2021. So that would be a cut of about $8,000.
okay,
Recreation, I haven't heard from them. Historic district had a new line for $8,000 for everything from a secretary to take minutes to someone to scan and review
correct.
all of the many photos that they have at the,
Could they delay it for a year, I'm wondering?
and another
We
possibility.
have to have somebody do it, I mean, we're not gonna vote on this tonight, but
No,
we have to have, by, I think, state law almost, so we have to have somebody take minutes.
Oh, yeah, the minutes we do, we have to take, absolutely.
The other,
I'm thinking about
we
the other
can
part.
discuss, yeah.
Okay,
Moving to capital outlay, the Coakley projects, that we have not heard from the city of Portsmouth. We don't know exactly what they are projecting.
mhm,
This is always a gamble, because the EPA and DES can tell the city of Portsmouth and Newington exactly what testing they want done at any time.
we have no
And we
choice.
have to comply
Right, I understand.
immediately. So, but we can't, this leaves us some funding in the budget if we go to
We
40,000.
haven't heard from Peter?
Not yet,
Okay.
no. The library, one question to be asked of the library is, can the $20,000 that they've asked for their building fund be delayed since the drainage issue of the foundation was corrected by volunteers, I understand?
Yes, okay,
So that's something to consider.
all right,
The townwide revaluation, we had a $25,000 warrant article in place. We could cut that and delay it until 2023,
mhm,
and then in 23 and 24, raise the 25,000 each year to bring us to the amount we need for the reval in
Right. so
24.
we shouldn't be in jeopardy by doing that, okay.
Fire ambulance, could we delay the ambulance one last year? I recall Assistant Chief Moynihan stating that it wasn't in too bad of shape.
Mm-hmm,
Is that something the fire department might consider?
okay,
The highway vehicles, delay 15,000 to 2023, but keep 15,000 in the warrant article.
mhm,
Highway major road work, delay 75,000, you recall our capital improvements plan says 175 per year for our major roads, that's
190,
Gosling, Shattuck,
190.
Woodbury.
190, isn't it?
190 is in the budget, and then we have the warrant article for the capital reserve.
Correct, thank you.
So that would leave 100,000 in the warrant article, but,
Okay,
you know,
that
I
would
know
still
this
suffice, I
isn't
think.
popular, but maybe that's another place that could be
Mhm.
further cut. Fire addition expansion, so we had $100,000 in there. Could that be delayed until 23 and keep 50,000 in the warrant article?
Okay,
And finally, the fire pickup, possibly delay that to 23.
right, I don't think they've got their current pickup truck yet, have they?
No, we do.
Okay, so I'm the one in mind, they may be able to give us a little leniency on that, so it looks good, Mark, you did a good job here.
Well, and unfortunately, that's only about 360,000
Right,
when you total it all up. We
Right.
still need more, frankly.
but we still haven't heard from some other people either.
Right.
We don't like to
But
ask
you
people
know, the
that.
big hit, the town itself is taking some good hit with the highway and the town hall administration.
Right,
Okay?
right.
Any discussion, gentlemen, that you should have?
No, that sounds like the bad news all around.
Okay, we're meeting tomorrow again after we get the fire and police in.
Right.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Well, I've got a problem, I won't be
You
here.
won't be here for the Lamprey River.
Lamprey River, which is an annual contract which has to be signed by us, so I have to be there to vote on it. You can't go because you have to be here, so whatever you guys decide is fine with me.
We'll keep your feet to the fire.
You spend too much, I'll haul you up on the screen, but that's all right. That's good.
Anything else?
Anything else, Sharon?
Anything we want to bring up?
Anybody got any questions?
All right,
Could I go back to the revenue that you talked about, you listed the revenues, the unanticipated revenues? I do have a question. Have you received those yet? And if so, where is that money?
Are you talking about the money coming back in from,
The American Rescue Funds, the vaccine
Right.
funds, the Eversource money,
Well, we had the
and,
public hearing on, they're asking those 4 items.
right.
Yeah.
So is that money, where is it? Have you received it, and if so, where is it?
The American Rescue Plan Act funds have been received, and that is in the general fund.
Okay,
Fire Department Vaccine Services has been received. That also went in the general fund.
okay,
Eversource road damage,
yeah. we
that has
received
been received
Yeah.
in the general fund. And Police Department copier reimbursement, you all correct me if I'm wrong, but that is in the general fund as well.
So
Okay.
are you asking when we get a cut check to you? Is that what you're asking? Fire engineer?
what?
Are you asking when we're gonna cut a check to you? Is that what you're asking?
No,
Oh, okay, I misunderstood, and I thought you wanted to know.
no,
when
I'm
you-
asking if you have received these funds, and if
Yeah, we
so,
have.
where are they?
They're in the general.
That's what I need to know, thank
Can
you.
they be applied to the gap that we have? Have they been applied to the gap?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Is it
Have those
applied-
funds been applied to the gap that we have? So you're asking departments to cut the budgets because you're concerned about our situation.
Mm-hmm.
Have those funds been taken into consideration when you, like I said, I think it was $440,000 that there's a shortfall of, did I have that right?
Right,
Right.
roughly.
So this new revenue that we received, has it been applied to that 440?
No, unfortunately, we can't apply those, most of those funds. I can't say we can't apply them all. The road damage settlement was used for road projects that were damaged during the Eversource project. The fire department vaccine services were used to pay firemen for administering vaccine. The police department copier reimbursement was used to, their copier died, I think if I have that right, and a new one had to be purchased, and so it's an in and out account. And the American Rescue Plan Act funds are still to be determined by the selectmen as to what those will be used for.
And how much is that, 118?
18,000?
Oh, 18,000.
18115.
11355.
So I guess my question would be, if the selectmen need to use that for something, could that be taken off the 440, right out of the gate? Right? I mean, if it doesn't have a purpose for it, if I'm understanding that correctly, that could be an additional
It
cut.
would be under consideration, yes.
You said 360, you're up to, Martha?
Right.
Roughly,
And we're at 440, there's your 80,000, and
18.
It's only 18,000.
18,000.
18,000.
I wish it was a bigger one.
Yeah.
I heard it wrong,
I'll
thank
take
you.
that money you said, that's good.
18 is, yeah, I know.
Any other questions?
Any
All
other
set?
questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor?
All right.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your financial.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the 15th, Mark.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Martha,
Emily.
I just have a quick question. On the public hearing, I noticed it does say that the reimbursement from the American Rescue Fund was 85,000.
You're absolutely right. That is a typo. That should be 85,000.
Wait. Should that be 18,000 or 85?
85.
So what we just talked about in terms of,
So if that's the 85,000, and I apologize because I didn't recognize the number, that we have not received it all. We will not receive the second half of that until 2022. And those have to be used for specific purposes. That's not to say that it couldn't go to some projects that could help cut the budget.
so where does the 18,000 fit into that? So,
That's a typo. It should, as the news article read, should have said 85,113.
so we have 18,000 of that, or,
We have half of that, so roughly 42, 5.
42,500.
So if I'm
And the
understanding
rest-
correctly, we have about $45,000 of funds that have not been assigned to anything, right? And are there restrictions on that grant?
There are restrictions, specifically infrastructure uses for water and sewer, COVID-related expenditures.
So wouldn't this be a great opportunity to actually look at our budgets, see where that 45,000 can be distributed, pass that 45 to each one of those funds, freeing up the general fund of the 45, then the selectmen then can vote the 45,000 into the missing amount. We're close.
So your gap has just been reduced.
Right.
Thank you very much for calling that to our attention. We had a motion, voted, and adjourned. Okay, thank you all.